Madam Deputy President. As a servant to the people of Queensland and Australia, I rise to support this bill, despite substantial reservations. Australia's hard-working farmers are suffering desperately in this drought, an entirely natural phenomenon that is part of our country, but that doesn't make it any less difficult for the farmers. Drought support for the land is not just about infrastructure, because there are many on-farm measures that can be taken. Madam Deputy President, this bill places the attention where it needs to be, on the soil. Drought-proofing Australia is in part about regenerating degraded soil to retain more water, and from that, to use less fertiliser and chemicals. The ultimate goal is profitable, stable and sustainable agriculture. Regenerative agriculture, known as regen ag for short, stores water back in the soil. It captures and stores carbon, a natural element essential for all life on Earth and in every living cell of every living organism. I want to compliment the One Nation member for the state seat of Mirani in Queensland for the work he has been doing with farmers and will continue to do on this matter. Now, after pushing for many years, One Nation is now very pleased to see soil regeneration being included in this bill, and we will hold the government accountable to that clearly stated intent. Yet, Madam Deputy President, this is not a $5 billion drought bill. The bill provides $100 million each year to be put into a special fund for grants to farmers. But here is the problem, Madam Deputy President. That money does not start to flow until 1st of July 2020. In fact, the Future Drought Fund has a full 12 months after 1st of July 2020 to put all the money into that account. This scheme may not be in full swing until mid-2021, and after processing grant applications, it could be 2022 before farmers can get hands on their money. So, Madam Deputy President, why did Senator Cormann earlier today take to Twitter soon after announcing raising this bill to declare that this bill would support farmers and drought-affected communities straight away, when that is not the case? The bill provides for fund management expenses to be taken from the special account. Let me say that again. The bill provides for fund management expenses to be taken from the special fund account. Many questions remain around how much will be taken out of that $100 million in expenses managing the fund. The bill lists page after page of expenses, including the cost of the Future Drought Fund as well as the special fund. One Nation is concerned that this is not a $5 billion bill. It's not a $100 million bill. Rather, this bill, Madam Deputy President, may well turn out to offer funds in a trickle, not the flood that is needed. In many ways, this seems to be yet another Liberal facade that's going to be sold. One Nation will hold this government accountable to the promises it is making with this bill to provide drought relief. We go further, though, Madam Deputy President. Why does the government continue to ignore the need for substantial nation building, future building, infrastructure projects that could drought-proof much of our nation, particularly our state of Queensland and their neighbouring state of New South Wales? That is a cost-effective and seemingly affordable project that will prevent forever the cost of recurring flood damage. We go further, Madam Deputy President, and ask the government to address Liberal Labor policies and actions that are crippling Australia's productive capacity. In southern and central Queensland, farmers are not planting fodder because the electricity prices are absurdly and artificially high. In a drought, farmers are not planting fodder. Electricity prices are high due to unfounded and dishonest energy policies, complying with the UN's Paris pseudo-agreement and various UN policies and advices. A drought, yet farmers are not planting fodder. After listening to the loony and anti-human Greens who rabidly and falsely claim that droughts are due to hydrocarbon fuels, I must address their falsities. They have never provided the hard data for their claim, and they contradict the empirical scientific evidence that proves hydrocarbon fuels do not and cannot affect climate. The UN initiated this lie, the Greens push it, and the Liberal duopoly drive it in policy aiming to get Greens preferences. The Greens, Madam Deputy President, I will repeat again, have never provided data as proof for their absurd claim. Banks are also crucifying farmers, and that brings them to the edge. And then you get a drought and they go over the edge. And farmers are crippled by banks that have unfettered oligopoly powers. So let's take another Labor-Liberal policy. How can farmers survive the Howard Liberal government that colluded first in 1996 with the then Borbidge National Party government, and in 1998 with the Beattie Labor Queensland government, and with the Carr Labor New South Wales government, to steal farmers' property rights as a way of complying with the UN's Kyoto Protocol, repeatedly stated by the then Prime Minister, Mr. John Howard, on behalf of his government, echoed and confirmed by Bob Carr and Mr. Peter Beattie. I have been calling on the federal government to comply with Section 51, paragraph 31 of the National Constitution and either restore farmers' stolen property rights or compensate them in just terms for the theft. Restoration or compensation. Restoration or compensation. I want to single out Mr. Dan McDonald and his lovely wife Katrina and their children James, Ebony and Reese. They are taking on the Queensland government and the whole of the Queensland government in standing up for their right to clear their land, to provide mulga for their cattle that are starving. They bought that property near Charleville in southwestern Queensland, particularly because it had mulga and it could be cleared, and because that then provides natural drought proofing. And yet, he's not allowed to clear the land now. He has lost his property rights as a result of Liberal Labor governments in federal and state. Finally, Madam Deputy President, the support from farmers has been slow to come. Yet while wanting faster delivery, we are nonetheless pleased that farmers will be getting support sometime in the next 3 years. We urge the government to get out and really listen across our wonderful nation and then change its energy and water policies while building vital drought-proofing infrastructure to restore Australia's productive capacity. That is what we in Pauline Hanson's One Nation Party advocate, restoring our country's productive capacity. Thank you, Madam Deputy President.
Thank you.